Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Embla, and I'm just practicing my awesome. Sorry, just practicing my awesome karate skills and making myself a cup of coffee at the same time.
Now this here is Haugesund, downtown Haugesund. The bar street, I think, where all the things are happening during the summer. I posted on Instagram yesterday, which were of the somewhat empty streets of Haugesund, because everything closes at like 6 or something, and then the streets were totally empty. There were no people around at all. But I guess down here, where bars and restaurants are, there's a lot of people, especially during the summer. They have a lot of cool things here, like the Amanda Prize and a jazz festival. So then, and also some boat festivals, I think. Then this canal here are pretty much full of boats. You could almost walk from one side to another. And I also learned a fun fact. It seems that Marilyn Monroe was Norwegian, and that's why they have a statue of Marilyn Monroe here in Haugesund, because apparently her father or grandfather or something came from this place. I didn't know that. So her real name must have been Mari fra Monroe. No, it probably wasn't. And we are heading out there. Down, you know. Put that over there. I think they will dissipate when the sun rises enough. Hopefully. You never know. So this is where we are at the moment. We are heading over to those mountains over there. I don't know if you can see them. They are pretty majestic with snow on top of them and all. And I think Hardangerfjorden is just down there around the corner. We are sailing along quite nicely with a reefed main and a reefed Genoa. We have about, I guess, between 6 and 8 meters per second, which is around 15 knots of wind. Suddenly, out of nowhere, you have these gusts coming down. I guess it's all about these mountains over there, and it almost just heels over. But we're doing nicely still. It's between 5, 6, maybe 6.5 knots sometimes. So shouldn't complain at all. And when you go from having like 6 meters per second or 12 knots of wind speed to 22 in just a second, something's gonna happen. So I think it's a good thing that we reefed the sails. Huh? Yeah. This is us, and we are going all the way up here. This here is Rosendal. That's the first stop for tonight. And then we're going to continue all the way up there, and then around the corner there, and all the way down there to Odda, which is our destination. It was a strange sail this. We sailed some, and then we had to go by engine, and then we sailed some more. The further we got into the fjord, the harder it was to sail. The gust got bigger and bigger, and I guess it's because we are getting closer to these really tall mountains, so the wind just goes down the mountainside and over the water. Many people has told me that you shouldn't sail in a fjord anyway because of these wind conditions. They can be erratic, really bad sometimes. And I guess on a day like this, when it is quite windy to begin with, you have this gust on top of that. Anyway, we are almost there now, so it doesn't really matter. It was a good trip. Then we were in Rosendal. Now I gotta say, it was a little bit, how should I put it? Tricky, yeah, that was a good word. Tricky to get alongside on this dock here. And of course now the wind has calmed down again. But when we came in here, it was about 20 knots towards the boat. So the boat was being pushed away from the dock at all times. And as you can see, this dock is full, pretty much. There are some spaces here and there. Actually quite a great place to stay with your boat if you have the money because it is super expensive, but also the docks here are really good and the toilets facilities and everything is really good, but you have to pay for every single little thing, so it's getting quite expensive if you stay here a week or so. It costs 180 to stay a night for this boat, of course more if you have a bigger boat, and then they charge you for accessing the toilet, for a shower and washing your clothes, electricity. So even though it is quite nice, I like it. And I also don't like it. I like those small little places where there's normal people that aren't after, ripping you off, basically. So we're gonna leave because we just paid one night. And we are leaving! And we're gonna go further in. Now, Elizabeth and I checked it out yesterday. And man, this Hardangerfjord, it is long! You know, it's still 12 more hours to get into the very end of it. And the fun thing is that technically I think we've just about entered Hardangerfjord. It's somewhere around here where the actual fjord starts. Maybe Elizabeth wants me to help her fix some fenders.
No, I'm okay.
Bring on those fenders. Oh yeah. Now bend over and get that fender. So this will be my second fjord. Well, technically it is my third fjord since I went into Fjord there. But Lysfjord and Hardangerfjord is the second one, and then I only have a couple of more. But man, you know, it is beautiful, and I don't think the camera can make it just, because the mountains they are so big and you feel so small, and you know, the sense of distance inside of these fjords are really strange, because you see land on both sides and you think, wow, probably won't take me more than 10 minutes to swim in there, and the fact is it takes you about half an hour, at least with this boat, to go in there. So everything is so massive here, and I think I really didn't plan well enough for this trip, because the whole trip from Haugesund all the way down to Odda is 122 nautical miles or something, and this boat does around 5 to 6 knots an hour on engine, and maybe if you are lucky 7, 8 with sails. That is if you are really lucky. I think we have been out here for 10 hours or something now today, and we are getting a little tired, so we are gonna go into a place called Lofthus, which is 4 or 5 minutes more or something down the fjord behind me here, and we're gonna see if we can stay there for tonight. Otherwise we can just continue to Odda, of course, but that will mean we will get into Odda at 10, maybe 11 tonight, and it was a little hard on my ass this to see it all. So I think the sun will go down behind the mountains in an hour or so, and I don't want to sail into a new harbor in the dark.
So we're gonna stay at Loftus, and I'm gonna make Elizabeth a great dinner, hopefully, if I don't mess it up. The cool thing about Hardangerfjorden is that this place is actually where a lot of the Norwegian apple growth are done. So if you go sail in here in May, you will see all of the sides of the Hardangerfjord here filled with apple trees in their bloom. Now we are just a tad early for that, just a tad. We should be here in May and we are still in April, so I can't really see anything blossoming at all.
I know when you're troubled it's hard to see things clear. I also know when I'm feeling down, it's good to have some friends to help you turn things around.
Welcome back to Terje's Kitchen, right here in Embla's Galley. Woo! Now today we have to you guys that thinks I'm only eating spaghetti and meatballs and stuff, or pizzas, you're right. But today we are doing something different. Today we have Hasselback's potatoes and a lot of veggies, and to top it all off, I bought a couple of nice beefs that we're gonna eat today. But now I'm preparing the potatoes because they are gonna go in the oven. But first I need to have some more butter, because I think that's the secret to every good dish. Lots and lots and lots of butter. This is gonna be nice. I think though the potatoes may be a little too big. Potatoes? Potatoes? The potatoes may be a little too big, but they will do, I think. So first you just cut them up and slice them up into pieces like this, but you don't cut all the way through. You just cut a little so they stick together. And I've just had it in the oven for some minutes to warm them up a little so that the butter will sieve through the gaps. Then I have chopped up some garlic, and I'm just gonna pour this over this whole thing just to make a little flavor. And then we will have some sea salt on top of it, like so. I think that will do. And then you use this. Dette er strøbrød. I have no idea what that is called in English. Now, if you are a chef and you're watching this, you're probably thinking, what the hell? And you will probably be right, because actually I've never ever done this before. So this will be my first Hasselback's potatoes. Potatoes. And then you just stick it in the oven, and they should be there for about 20 minutes. And now, my friends, it is time for the first episode of my favorite series. And just look at that food, huh? And that is pretty much what we have time for this week, so subscribe for more videos, and until next time, you, my friends, take care, and I will see you there. And no, I have not drunken too much coffee today. I've only drunken like 10 cups or something. Ah, 10 more to go before bed.